Hello, fifth grade. This is Ms. Gibson coming with you with your math review for today. So, of course, you guys should be on your day, which is Thursday, May 14th, for your math review practice packet. Now, you can go ahead and have your piece of paper out, your pencils, your notebook if you need it to refer back to anything that you think you are struggling on, and then, of course, space to write down questions if you have questions on specific problems. So, go ahead and get those things out. All right. Now, as you're working on the problems, make sure you're doing all of the workout on your blank piece of paper in your notebook, and then come back to this video to discuss and look at solution strategies for those questions. Go ahead and pause the video and get started. Awesome. Welcome back from trying out the practice packet. Now, let's get into the solution strategies together. All right. So, the first question, it says, which expression has a sum of 6 and 1/6? Now, regardless if the answer pops up in one of the first answer choices, you should always try out all answer choices just to make sure that that answer choice is correct. So, of course, I went through and tried out every single one. So I know that A, 2/5, 2, 2 and 5/6 plus 3 and 1/3. I first, what do I notice first about my denominators? Correct. They are not the same, so I have to make sure that they are common denominators, and then I'm adding them together. And then my final answer was 6 and 1/6. Again, you are trying out every single problem because you don't know if other ones may arise that may have had the same sum, and your work could have potentially been wrong. So you always try out everything and check your work. B, 3 and 1/6 plus 3 and 1/6. I do not have to change my denominators on this because they're both the same. So I'm just adding the whole numbers to the whole numbers, the fractions to the fractions. Oh, I got 6 and 2/6. C, 4 1/2 plus 2 and 1/4. Again, transferring those to the same common denominator, the fourths. So I have 4 and 2/4 plus 2 and 1/4, which gives me 6 and 3/4. And finally, D, 1 and 1/12 plus 5 and 5/6. I am again making those common denominators to add. So I have 1 and 1/12 plus 5 and 10/12, which gives me 6 and 11/12. So yes, A is correct for this for the sum that equals 6 and 1/6. All right, let's scroll down and look at the next one. This one says the coordinate plane shows how parents determine her weekly Bria's parents determine her weekly allowance. Which statement is true? Now, in order for us to figure out which statements are true, we need to go through each one to figure out which one is incorrect and which ones are right based off the information given. So realize our x-axis shows the chores completed and our y-axis shows the weekly allowance. Okay? So as we're reading, it's going to say like how many chores to how many she earns. So when we're looking at chores, we should be looking at the x-axis. And then when we look at the money she earns for that amount of chores, we should be looking at the y-axis. Now let's go through each one. For A, if Bria completes 0 chores, she earns 0 money. Let's go to 0 on the x-axis. So zero's here. So is our first point plotted here? Because technically that'll be 0 and 0 as our labeled coordinate. No, if she does 0 chores, it seems as though she gets $2. So this is why A is incorrect. B, if Bria completes 3 chores, she earns $1. Let's find out what 3 chores is at. So 3 chores right here. Now, if how much does she earn when she does 3 chores? She earns $5 when she earns 3 chores, not one. So if she earned $1 for the 3 chores, her label point would be down here. So B is incorrect. C, if Bria completes 2 chores, she earns $4. So let's go to 2. So 2 chores on the x-axis. Let's see where it meets up for 4. All right, we have a plotted point right here. So it seems as though when she does 2 chores, she earns $4. Now, let's check the last one to make sure that C is the only correct one. If Bria completes 6 chores, so 6, she earns $4. Now, this is not even a plotted point on this coordinate plane, so clearly D is incorrect. So our correct answer for today is C. Always remember to go through every answer choice when you are trying to figure out the correct statement when we are doing these types of problems. Okay, number 3. Frank purchases a 3.5 pound bag of chicken. He uses 1 1/3 pounds of chicken for fajitas. He wants to calculate how many pounds of chicken are left. Between what two whole numbers does the difference fall between? So for this one, clearly I need to solve first for how much the difference is. So I'm doing subtraction in order to understand which two numbers the pounds of chicken will fall in between. So I had to do 3.5 minus 1 1/3. When I did that, I knew that I had 3 3/6 after I converted to the same denominators minus 1 2/6. I did regular subtraction algorithm. My final answer was 2 1/6, meaning that the difference that the two whole numbers fall in between are 2 and 3. Because if I round it down, it'll be 2, and if I added just a little bit more fractions, it may round up to 3. So the correct answer here is C. Number 4. Miss Simmons ordered 283 pencils for her class. She plans to split the pencils equally among the 25 students in her class and then keep the leftover pencils for herself. How many pencils will Miss Simmons get to keep? So again, I did division here. So I did 283 divided by 25 because we have to split the pencils equally. So I knew that I would get 11 students 11 pencils for 25 students. Now, after I did my workout, I subtracted a big group of 250, so that's 10 groups, and there was 33 left over. So then I minus a group of 25, so that's 1. I have 8 pencils remaining. Now, this is how many she will keep for herself because she keeps the leftover pencils for herself. So the correct answer is D. All right, let's go to the last two. We are finding the products for multiplying decimals here. So of course, when we multiply decimals, do we line them up? No, we are taking out those decimal points and then we are adding them back in. So you're taking out the decimal points, multiplying as if we are regularly multiplying, doing the multiplication algorithm, and then we're adding that decimal back in based on how many place values are after the decimal point. So I know in my first factor, there's one place value behind a decimal point. In my second factor, there's two place values behind a decimal point. So in total, there should be 3 numbers behind the decimal point in my final answer. Now, I'm going to post both work. Please pause the video and check your work. All right. Now, if you are still having problems with multiplying decimals within numbers, please reach out to your teachers, ask those questions so you guys do not have any more problems with this. Again, this is all review, considering this is math review today. All right, now the secret code for today is going to be Dresser, DRESSER. Make sure you're inputting that today in the exit ticket. And of course, make sure you are putting in all the correct, doing all the work on the side for your exit ticket in order to get that 100% on this exit ticket. All right, have a great Thursday and hope to hear from you guys soon.